All right, this is part one of the cattle catcher. So we're going to do this part here. I'm referring to the drawing that we got from class. All of these dimensions are available, so if you look at your worksheet while we go, if you can't read it in the video, then use that. Okay, to begin with, we want to make sure we draw on this one from the top. Sometimes your orientation won't have Z pointing directly to you. That's okay for now, but you should work to get that satisfied or fixed. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start then. Click on the origin. We're going to type 2 inches wide by 2.5. Finish the sketch. Show home view. Extrude this part 0.88. Now we could do this later. We'll do it right now. We're going to put in the holes for the axles. So we use the create sketch. Click on the right side of the box. Click somewhere in this shape. And we're going to do 0.25. That's a 1/4 inch. We do 2 of those circles, 0.25. Then use the dimension tool, sketch dimension. Remember, you can find it here. You can use the keystroke D, or some of you have it in the menu. Now click on the edge of the circle, the bottom of the box, and then click somewhere else. I choose to click off the object. Okay, so that's the 3 clicks that I need. This thing is going to be 0.25 high above the bottom of the train. Now when I click on the circle like this, it's enough to know that it's actually selecting the middle of the circle. This next one, I'm doing the circle to the front of the train, and I want to do 0.75. Let's do that again. From this circle to the bottom of the train, 0.25. The same circle from the front of the train, and click down here. I'm doing 2.25. Finish the sketch, then extrude, clicking on both of these, and we could just do a -2, right, that'll do it, or you can drag the arrow. Either way will work. Let's make sure that it goes all the way through. There it does. Okay, at this point we'll go ahead and save it. So I'm going to save it. This is the cattle catcher. And I'm just calling it sample. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, let's hide these text commands, we're not using those. Okay, fine, I'll leave them alone. Is I want to draw from the top of this box that we just made. And we want to make sure that we're using the narrow side. And I'll zoom in so I can see it. Right here in the center, I know I'm center, and it's locking to center when I see the triangle there. So I click, move my mouse up and to the right, and then type in 1.5 and then 0.375. Okay, now let's go ahead and hide the body. So there's 2 ways to hide the bodies. We can do all bodies or just each one individually. Because if we hide all bodies, when we make bodies later on, we create a problem. Let's just hide the body here. This will make things a little easier to see. Okay, now using the line tool from this corner, we're going to come down 0.498. And then somewhere on this side, I don't want to be on the corner, and I don't want to be locked into any of these here. So just somewhere on this line where the X is snapping to it. I'll bring it straight down, and I can see that with the little 90-degree symbol that it's going in the right direction. I want this to come down 0.25. And then we'll use the sketch dimension tool. Click on the line here and the side of this box, and then click another place this measurement is going to be 0.125. If you can see it better this way, I'll go 0.125, right? It just makes it easier to see. Okay, now from the line that I just created to the line that I made here, make sure I don't go to the dimension line, but to this spot right here. I'm going to draw a line. Now I know I got to the right place because it's shaded in blue. Okay, let's finish the sketch. Go to Home View. And now we're going to extrude these shapes. And we're going to extrude it 0.1. Okay, if we show the other body, we'll see that this is resting on top, exactly where we need it to be. Okay, now let's click on Construct Offset Plane. We will choose the top of this shape, and then we need to type negative 1.255. And then we will sketch from this plane. We're going to use now the feature called Project. And we want to project this shape to the plane that we just constructed. I'll show you what that looks like. See how it's down here now? This is where we're actually drawing, and this body is kind of in the way. So I'm going to hide that body for now and go back to our top view to zoom in so we can get some things drawn here. So I want to draw a line going across at this spot, and then let's choose another one. I just randomly picked a spot. I want to make sure that I do not get to one that has the triangle on either side, because that will lock it in. I just want it to go across here like this, be 90 degrees, so that when I do my sketch dimension tool, I can give it the distance of 0.1. Excellent. Now, from the first point that we made right here, we're going to come straight down. The distance on this one is fairly long. It is 1.624. Now, so you can see it a little better. 1.624. Now we're going to come on the other side from here and come straight down. This is 0.375. Now let's draw a line going from this spot here to here. We know we have it right if it's blue. If not, frequently what happens is students will click on the dimension line instead of the end of the line. Okay, just to help us out a little bit later, I'm going to go ahead and delete this line by using the trim tool, and that should be plenty. So now we'll go ahead and finish the sketch, go to Home View, and then let's show body 2 again. We've got this body on top. We have to prepare it for the loft that we're going to do. So now let's sketch on the top of this box right here. And what we'll do is draw the line. We're going to go from this corner to here. And then let's just trace the object here. We don't always have to do it all the way like this, but it will help us so we can hide this body and still do the loft that we're going to do. Finish the sketch. Let's hide body 2. And now I have this area here. If I hover over it, it kind of selects it, which is really great. Under Create, choose Loft. Choose the top one, and then the front 2 pieces here. Then click OK. Now we've made this part here, and it kind of like extends like this. You see? Perfect. Now we're going to take body 3 here, and we're going to create the holes that go through it in an orderly way. So to do that, you'll use construct, choose plane through 3 points. Now it's important that we follow this order. If you don't, it'll still work, it just won't draw the same way that we're looking at. So follow this if you will. So we're going for the top vertex here, the farthest forward vertex there, and then this one here. And what that does is create a slanted plane. Now the next thing we want to do is project this face that we made onto the plane. So what we'll do is we'll create sketch, choose this plane that we just made, and then under create or pressing P, we can project this face onto the plane. Now when I hide that body, I have this polygon. Okay, we're going to draw a line on the right side of this shape. And we're not going to finish the sketch yet. We're going to use a really cool tool called rectangular pattern, where we select this object here, and then we're going to establish the direction going like this here. Now for my object, it's working really well to go probably a negative 1.7. 1.9 kind of goes past it. 1.8 also works. In fact, I'm going to do 1.8. And then we just need to make this an odd number. So I'm going to take a look at 15. That looks like a good number. You could try 13. It'll make the fins fatter. You could go 17. That makes it skinnier. Your choice. I'm going to do 15. Then we click OK. Now, we could take and draw manually from each of these to go up. It's really difficult, though, to get it correct. The way that we do it is go into Modify, choose Extend, and then you'll notice when I hover over the line, it will finish drawing that line to the next point, or not next point, next line, that finishes it. Then we can go back here and just clean up these edges. This part is optional, it just looks good. Makes it so it's a little clearer. Now, if I hover all of these, I don't see any red going to the line. That means they touch this line. That's important. Finish the sketch, and now we're going to extrude. We'll first select the extrusions. So I'm going to make sure I have a little bit in front, and I'll go every other one like this to see what I end up with. That looks about right. So we'll choose to go 2 inches, and we'll also choose to be symmetric. So when I look at this, it looks really long and stuff like that, right? So the thing that I want to do before I click OK, if I clicked OK, you just come back here and double click on this part of the history, and you'll be able to work it. So you want to show the body that is the front part, and it should turn it into a cut. If not, manually set this to cut. Then click OK. You'll notice that it has cut right through the train part here. And before we do this now, I'm going to show the top part, and we want to merge these two together. To do that, it's called combine. So we click on one part, then we'll select everything else that we can, like this. In fact, I could do them all just in case. So I have them all. And then the operation is join. And I just click OK. Don't choose any of these others. And where they touched, they now have become one piece. Okay, now that we have made this part, we're now going to mirror this part to create the other side. So choose Create, Mirror, choose all of these parts. If this says faces like this, you'll need to change it so it says bodies. So we select them all, then rotate to the other side so we can see it. Choose mirror plane and click right here. This will join and create one part. And we've got these lone parts here, which would be great for what we're doing as a train. If we were to 3D print these, they would just fall off. So we would have to create some way to connect these pieces. But for our purposes, this is perfectly great. All right, so now we'll go ahead and show this part of the body. We've got these parts here. So all we have to do for this part, for part 1, is to make color, and I am going to choose my body on this one to be a blue, and let's see, probably paint. I want it to look kind of metal-like, so I'm doing a powder coat rough. This one, and then I'm going to go with I'm going to do white on the front, so I haven't downloaded it yet, so I just click on there. And let's go ahead and put it on the front here. I might do, because I've got a little difference here, so I might take some black and just kind of make it cool. Yes. Okay, so that is part 1 of the cattle catcher. Make sure you save it. Control S does the work. This version description, if you want to say it with this, would say the cattle catcher, but we're just good. Okay, that will do for this portion.